Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The former General Valery Zaluzhny, the former Ukrainian, he was Ukrainian, he is still Ukrainian, if he's still alive, they say he is, Ukrainian general in charge of the Ukrainian army or military, he was appointed as ambassador to the UK. But before he was appointed, he was stripped of any military ranks and everything else. That means he was fired from the military and then he was appointed as the Ukraine's ambassadorship to UK. What does that mean? Well, let's read this little article from Russia Today and give you details on this dismissal, which is basically, technically, as I said, Zelensky Stein cut Zaluzhny's wings, keeps him away from the military, so he cannot do shit, and appointed him somewhere where he can be under 100% supervision of Zelensky Stein's SBU. That means he's a dead man walking, or just an ambassador. I know, I understand. Russia Today. Zelensky appoints ex-top general as UK envoy. Remember, they were talking about doing this and blah, 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 blah. Now, time is right. The Ukrainian president, he's Ukrainian as I am Zimbabwean, has discharged Valery Zaluzhny from military service, quote unquote, on health grounds. What do you mean on health grounds? Was he assassinated? Was he poisoned? Was he blown up by the Russians? What do you mean? He's lost virility or something? Someone's lying. So here he is. Ukrainian president again. And this is coming from the Russians. Are these idiots? Or they don't want to rock the boat too much with Netanyahu Stein? Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has dismissed his former top general Valery Zaluzhny from the military and appointed him as ambassador to the UK. Now you can say, well, in order to be a civilian or an envoy over there, you have to be, you have to be dismissed and so on. Yeah, okay, but what's this? what's this garbage then? On health grounds. In a normal society, I would say, which is, I don't know, can't pinpoint a normal society, but nevertheless, they tell us that we live in one. That's true. That's true. But I have some gut feelings, and I suspect that it's not so. I think Zelensky Zaluzhny up 100%. And maybe Mr. Zaluzhny stays over there in London when things, shit will hit the fan in Ukraine. Then Zaluzhny is going to be already over there with his money somewhere in some banks. And the same with Zelensky. He's going to, if he has time to fly somewhere to, I don't know, London is the preferred location. Then Israel and then New York. These three are their preferred landing, strips. So let's move on here. Let me put my goggles. Zaluzhny was fired by Zelensky from his command post in February after the two reportedly had a major falling out over strategy in the conflict with Russia. First, only one person can talk about strategy, and that is this guy right here, not Zelensky. Zelensky is a comedian. It doesn't mean that he doesn't understand, or he can, educate himself about it, or he understands what those guys are saying. But in strategy, I don't know. It's like let's say I talk to a general, let's say General Milley or Lloyd Austin or Mr. Brown of the U.S. Air Force. Let's say, and I say, no, the strategy is not right. The first question will be based on what? Tell us, make your point. Oh, well, I don't know, Charlie Chaplin. I will start playing, or a clown philosophy or strategy, please. Anyway, it's not that. If you talk like that, if you think it's the strategy, how about the Russian General Sirsky, who replaced Zaluzhny? He's losing all over the place. Where's the strategy? Now the strategy is good, and for 2 years, Zaluzhny did his own thing without, what's his name is, Zelensky Stein's strategy, or just lately he just fucked up. Please, my friends, let's don't go full retard here. A decree making Zaluzhny ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary of Ukraine to UK was published on Zelensky's website on Thursday. A day earlier, a separate decree discharged the 50-year-old general from military service on health grounds with the right to wear a military uniform. Okay, so he has the right to wear it. Okay, good for you. Zaluzhny, who had served as the country's military commander-in-chief since 2021 and held the post for most of the Ukraine conflict so far, was dismissed by Zelensky in February and replaced by General Alexander Syrsky, Russian, who was previously in charge of Kiev's ground forces. While the Ukrainian president, the third time, Jesus Christ, St. Peter, 3 times is a charm here, spoke of a reset in the military when commenting on Zaluzhny's dismissal. You did so well that, oh my God. The move came after the general suggested that the hostilities had reached a stalemate, which was accurate, a sentiment that Zelensky publicly pushed back against. So that's a strategy that they disagreed upon. Several polls at the time also shown that Zaluzhny had a higher approval rating than the, again, Ukrainian leader, with media reports indicating that Zelensky viewed the veteran general as a political rival. You think? Now, here, Zaluzhny's candidacy for the role of U.S. ambassador was approved by Zelensky in March. A request for agreement sent to London was approved in April. Kiev previous ambassador, listen to this, what happened, you can't, and they talk about Putin killing his opposition. Kiev previous ambassador to the UK, Vadim Pristaiko, was sacked by Zelensky in the summer of 2023 after publicly criticizing the Ukrainian president. So you can criticize him, whatsoever. But Putin is the one who kills his, and Ukraine is a democracy, Russia is a dictatorship. Jesus Christ. The controversy began when the UK Defense Secretary Ben Wallace, who's out of office, he just resigned. After he resigned, said Ukraine was not showing enough gratitude to Western arms supplies. Zelensky replied that Kiev could thank London for its help every morning. So the clown, talk like a clown, if it wants. Remember, if it wants, Pristaiko slammed the Ukrainian, again, president for what he called unhealthy sarcasm. I think he was right. What did Zelensky do? Fired him. And you're talking about Putin firing him, his generals or something, and his opposition and killing and poisoning? All right. Now, it was true. It was true. Ukraine without the UK, let's say UK tomorrow says, okay, we're going to take our secret services, we're going to get MI6, we're going to get it out. We're not going to supply with any intel. We're not going to train you over there with your little sea drones and anything. We're not going to do anything. No satellites, nothing for you. I guarantee you, this guy's going to come and suck the British thing in order to receive anything. So who's at the receiving end? Ukraine. So Ukraine depends on London. And you say, well, if you want, I come every morning and thank you for that. Motherfucker, you are on a supply line from me. If I cut it off, you dead. You dead. Anyway, so yeah, he was right. And then the ambassador said, that's unhealthy sarcasm, which was a fact. Zelensky did not like truth, so he fired him and gets Zaluzhny out of Ukraine. Why? Because that's what rats do when the ship is sinking. They abort. They abandon ship. I like Zaluzhny. What he is on my Ukraine list of Ukrainians that I like. He's the one that I've never heard him saying something idiotic. Let's start with this one. Did he do good things for his people? That's for them to judge. From my assessment, given the circumstances, I think he did a good job with the help of all this, because I don't think he was in charge anyway. He was the finger of the shooter. That's it. Everything else was done by NATO, which is Al Capone, United States of America. That's what it is. So he was an executor. That's all. That's it. He was told what to do. He might have said, no, yes, we don't care, get the fuck out of the room. We're going to dispatch you right now. And if you think that Zelensky dismissed Zaluzhny, I don't think so. I think forces way above Zelensky and Zaluzhny decided that and said, okay, now you do this. It's like a chess player. You're just over there on the board, and Zelensky, Zaluzhny, and all this, and it's me playing here, okay, against, I don't know which one you want, Karpov, Kasparov, Bobby Fischer, whatever you want. I put Bobby Fischer because I liked his very many interviews that he gave from Iceland, and not only. I listened to a lot of his interviews, and they're not good for the people. The people. All right, friends, here it is. So he's going to be in UK. Oh, he was appointed. It doesn't mean he's going to get there. Remember, sometimes you're given the passport and the visa, but when you're about to go, we need to talk to you. And we find out that you actually cooperated with the Russians. Therefore, go to jail. Or maybe even more. Why don't you drink this one, motherfucker? Right here. Okay. Or don't even have to say that. Hey, a toast for you. No. This is your glass and this is my glass. Clink. You don't like it? Ugh. I think so. We'll see. We'll see if he's gonna get to London. Zaluzhny is gonna get to London. He is a protected guy over there. He was anyway. We'll find out. He's under the Ukrainians and now NATO's supervision 100%. He's out. He relinquished or he gave up his weapons. Pop. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.